Hello everyone, it's Dino once again. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is now my second video. As I have mentioned in my first video, my channel features animation references and tutorials in 2D animation that newbie animators need to learn quickly and easily, and could use later on as references for their scene folders they are working on. And I hope I could also help the not so new animators. And now, let's take a look at how we can animate that elusive moonwalk. Since I was a kid, I have seen Michael Jackson do the moonwalk whenever he sings Billie Jean, so I got really familiar with how his feet and legs move as he does those moonwalks. And then I have seen quite a few animations, both of 2D and 3D characters doing the moonwalk. However, because I know the mechanics of Michael Jackson's moonwalk, sometimes I kind of cringe whenever I see those cartoon characters doing it wrong. Well, to be fair, maybe because there is this consideration that the characters' roles are simply not as dancers, and in those particular scenes they are just happy while they dance, and in their happy state they are being portrayed by the animators as having to exhibit some assumed dance moves that aren't really in the character's talents, such as doing the moonwalk, carefree and in high spirits. On the other hand, maybe, just maybe, the animators actually do not know the mechanics of moonwalk. Please welcome my second character, Jake the Jack of all trades. In the future, you will be seeing him perform animation references and tutorials. Today, he is going to show us how to moonwalk, or in other words, how to animate moonwalk. In this presentation, I tried to capture the human movement as close as possible. I am not going to create a cartoony movement. That will be up to the animator when he or she encounters scene folders that will need moonwalk. Whether it should look normal or cartoony, I decided I should just focus on the basic movement as realistically as I can. Then you, the animators, will have to create your own style, or the style your directors are instructing you when you get the chance of animating a character that would do the moonwalk. You don't have to put extra attention on the upper body movement, which I did here, although I did make the animation a little bit interesting by making a style at the arm movement. But this should not really concern you because dancers create their own upper body moves when performing the moonwalk. Let's just focus on the legs and feet. In this demo, I did a 23-frame animation loop or cycle. Animators may and can animate walks and moonwalks in different number of frames, especially when it has to follow the beat of a music accompaniment. So in this case, the number of frames I did follows the beat of the music I used here. What many people do not realize is that the moonwalk cycle pretty much looks like a typical walk cycle, except that the foot that is coming from behind is the one propelling the person, and the foot is pushing backwards. A walk cycle has the following poses: A. Contact pose, B. Down pose, C. Passing pose, and D. Up pose. But in the case of the moonwalk, the feet are constantly in contact to the ground. So basically, when we get to the contact position, we will still call it contact pose for the sake of identifying the pose. Let's begin with the pose where the feet are farthest from each other. Let's randomly consider that the left foot is in the contact position. You will see here that the pose is in similar manner as a walking pose. The left foot flat on the ground, and the right foot with its toes pointed downwards, or is in the tiptoe position. Remember that the contact pose is also the down pose, like in a typical walk cycle. In the passing pose, the right foot passes the left foot with the toe firmly in contact to the floor, as it is the one that moves the person backwards, while the left foot is flat on the ground and slides backwards. Remember that the passing pose is also the up pose, as in a typical walk cycle. Now the right foot is in the contact pose. Let's see the frame by frame. Notice that in frame 11, one of the in-betweens, the ankle of the right foot begins to rise, and the ankle of the left foot begins to lower. Same is true in frame 23, where the ankle of the left foot begins to rise, and the ankle of the right foot begins to lower. This is called the switch in moonwalking, where the position of the foot at the front changes from tiptoe to being flat on the ground, and the position of the foot at the back changes from being flat on the ground to tiptoe position. Always remember that when the foot at the back begins the tiptoe position, it works in pulling the person backwards, while the foot at the front is flat on the ground as it slides backwards. And that's how moonwalk is animated. Here's a tip. If you happen to get a scene folder that asks you to animate the moonwalk, and in case you have not fully memorized how moonwalk is animated, and for some reason you do not have access to this video at that very moment, just animate a walk cycle first, then just make some adjustments on the feet and leg poses, and you have yourself a decent moonwalk. Once again, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and click the notification bell to get updates when I upload new videos. If you want to suggest what I should animate next, let me know in the comment section below.